tumbling ringlets, pale strong gold, will draw you to her, sweet sharp cold. Glassy-eyed, she'll grab your lungs.
Oh, I love these, and steal your breath and tie your tongue.
Hey, spooky siblings. Welcome to the second installment of Creepy Doll Stories. My name is Red, and this is Left on Red, Fear Fridays. First story. You know, those cheap plastic dolls that you can get at craft stores that you can knit or crochet elaborate dresses for? Popular with grannies. My mom received one of these dolls with a purple and white dress from an elderly woman not long before the lady passed away. My mom had a blue armchair in her bedroom and had the doll sitting on it. She always kept the door open. Every time I would pass her room, the doll would turn its head to look at me. My nephew, who is not much younger than me, experienced the same thing. I had nightmares about that doll. I just hated it. Eventually, my mom gave it away. I was beyond relieved. Second story. I have a lot of porcelain dolls because I used to love their fancy hair and clothes when I was little. I don't usually find them all that creepy. They're very pretty. I had those ones with eyelashes that you could tilt back and their eyelids would close like they were sleeping. There was this one doll that would just close its eyes without me moving it. All the others stood in the same place, would have their eyes open, but this particular one would just close its eyes as you watched. Sometimes they stayed closed, and sometimes it was like blinking. It was probably just something wrong with the eyes, but it creeped me out. Third story. When I was younger, about 10 to 12 years, I remember my mom had 2 Minnie and Mickey Mouse toys. They were as tall as a 5-year-old child, so for a toy, they were quite big. A friend of my grandma gave them to my mom, and then she gave them to me. I used to play and sleep with them, but at a time I started noticing weird stuff happening with the toys. One day, I left Mickey in the bed and Minnie in the living room. So I went to the kitchen because my mom was talking to me. When I came back, Mickey was close to the door of the bedroom, like he was trying to get out of there. It happened a few times. In different parts of the house, the toys were moving from one part to the other. I always asked my mom if she could have moved them, but she said no. So, I don't know. It's weird. Fourth story. There's Mandy the doll in Quesnel, British Columbia. The owner of the doll said she'd always hear a baby crying in the basement and curtains moving before she donated it to the local museum where it lives today. The doll has a lamb stuffy with it in its display that occasionally finds its way to the floor under the display case.
Hey, Mandy, had a little lamb, a little lamb, a little lamb. Mandy had a little lamb. His fleece was white as snow.
That's really funny, Polty. Back to the story. Also, people's cameras seem to always glitch out when her picture is taken. People have said to have seen her blink or eyes move. When I saw the doll myself, nothing crazy happened, but I felt really uneasy in front of it. Warning, the doll is creepy to look at.
No, Mandy, don't listen to the haters. You're an adorable little girl, and Red and I will be your friends.
Fifth story. When I was a little kid, I used to sleep with a bed full of soft toys. I had my large bears and Noah, the awesome polar bear that has never left my side since I got him. I fell asleep after a few hours of being trapped in my room, but something woke me up after my mom had gone to bed. It was very early in the morning, 1 to 2 a.m. I could hear something. I stayed very still and listened. Then I felt it. One of my soft toys climbed over me and slid off to the side of the bed and onto the floor with a thud. I tried to catch it moving, but it was just standing next to my bed. It was a floppy toy bear, so it couldn't stand on its own. I grabbed it and asked it what it was doing. It didn't say anything or move. I dumped it back on the bed and fell back to sleep after a while. I made sure all the dolls and soft toys, apart from Noah, left my room after that. I tried to rationalize it since then. I was still pretty young when it happened, under 10, but I remember it so clearly. I was not dreaming. I know I wasn't. I had a rabbit, but it wasn't her. She slept in her hutch outside in the summer and nothing had gotten into the house. She also didn't move like I heard or felt either. I don't know what else it could have been. This happened before I saw the black hooded thing standing next to my bed one morning, but after something had woken me up, scratching my leg in the night. Whatever that was, bolted when it realized I was awake. Sixth story. I had an experience when I was a kid. I would sleep over at my babysitter's house all the time. Her daughter was a few years older than me, and we got along great. So I would sleep in the same bed with her. She had an enormous collection of stuffed animals and dolls. One day, we heard her dog barking aggressively at one of her dolls. What made it creepier was that it was a Raggedy Ann doll. We told her parents, and they didn't listen. And if the doll was in the room, we couldn't sleep. So her dad placed it on the kitchen counter. We woke up to him cursing up a storm. We ran out and could hear the dog and the doll growling at each other. Her dad got dressed, grabbed the doll, and supposedly dropped it off at a dumpster a few miles away. I'll never forget that noise that was coming out of this doll.
I wonder what a doll growl sounds like.
That's a good question, Polty. The OP says that it sounds like between a dog growling and an old hag in pain. And that was Fear Fridays. My name is Red, and this is Left on Red. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And also press the bell notification button so that you get notified every time Polty and I upload a new video. Until next time.